How did he die? My son.
Did you go over to the house?
No. I figured there was gonna be a lot.
You went into the garage.
That's what I think.
Right.
I'm thinking of going Sunday or Monday afternoon, because I figured there'll be ample room for people for Sunday morning.
It was just too much because I had to go get the food and I had to pick something up. Another something up.
I played catch up, and I almost forgot to stop at Costco. I was on my way out. I thought,
Well, you could have skipped it because,
you know what? It added some steps to my
but
favor.
thank you. I think we'll just use peaches.
I just felt better checking. Let's put it this way. I went in. I didn't even take a cart because I was so positive I wouldn't find it. And I found the dry ones that I figured if the jarred ones wasn't with all the drop, then they didn't have
But peaches have the same
texture.
texture basically.
And it's similar color.
And the color, it's the taste that's different. So
Well,
maybe
the
I'll make the
taste-
dressing a little more acidic.
The taste is very different depending upon when you use the mango.
Yeah,
Because
that's true too.
mangoes are one of the two things that until Jimmy taught me
Yeah.
in this
Well, there are two
kitchen
different kinds.
what to pick. Mangoes are one of the few things I knew how to pick. Mangoes and avocados. And I always do a mango much softer than these hard mangoes.
Yeah. Well, you know,
And
there
it
are
tastes
too many.
sweet when
You
you
do the
get
hard.
the
If I,
right one.
if I just needed a couple, I.
Let's do the Bavard.
Hi Noah, good. How are you? Shabbat shalom.
I know, for a salad for 80.
Yeah.
And I've used the Costco ones that are already fitted. They're not always good.
Good.
Does anyone smell petrol? No, it's just me.
Is it?
It could be the mask. And I have this hypersensitive. How's everything, Meryl?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, actually.
Hey.
Nice to see that.
I'm looking
So, Mazel Tov, you're stepping down from the, Kiddush. You said you were gonna leave. Did you find someone?
No, but like Erin volunteered for today, that was nice.
I'm looking forward to hearing from Poetry.
Thank you so much.
Good.
It's on, and it's by Zoom. Okay, it's certain things I really don't want to go back. I wanna stay on Zoom because it's easier, because you don't have to go somewhere and.
Why? Because like it's like you don't have to worry about being pressed, rushing, being
Because
about being late.
one of the great things is, when working, sometimes people didn't get home in time, so at least, so that they turn off their video and they meet. Right. And, one of the things, we.
No, what did I say? No, yes, they are.
Do you think I'm a people that lazy stuff person or not? Pre-pandemic, everyone would do stuff.
Sure.
I came tonight because I thought it was gonna be light. I might not have to come over. I'll come tonight.
Hey Meryl, how are you? Hi, Andrew. Shabbat shalom. Make sure you come on.
What?
Good.
Actually, you feel good. Yeah. Good. Glad you feel good. Do you want to dive in everything?
No, I don't feel that. I don't want to struggle.
You want to co-lead everything?
I didn't find singing so much more than I used to, that it's kind of like my voice is out of it.
And you've been rehearsing.
Yeah.
Beyond just.
Do lots and lots of singing.
I can, it sounds fine, it's good enough that it sounds fine externally, but internally it feels a little bit, I think it's allergies combined with not drinking enough water.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei 14. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu boachem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu baruchuni leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu tzedchem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And turn to page 8 and 9. Lechu neranena ladonai naria litzor yishenu nekad mafanav b'toda v'zmirot naria lo ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher beyado mechkerei haaretz v'toafot harim lo. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omaram to'e levavheim ve'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati va'api im yavo'u nel menuchati. Page 10 and 11. Shir l'Adonai shir chadash, shir l'Adonai kol haaretz, shir l'Adonai baruchu shemo, basru miyom liyom yeshuato. Shabbat shalom. Eight lines from the bottom. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, yiram hayam, yiram hayam umelo'o. 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 Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar lifnei Adonai kiva kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek ve'amnim be'emunato. Page 12-13. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechu im rabim Anan Raphael Sivivav, Tzedek Mishpat Mechon Kiso. Orzaru ala tzadik ulishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim badonai vehodu lezecher kodsho. Page 1415. Mizmor shiru ladonai shir chadash ki niflaot asa Hoshia lo yamina uzroa kodsho hodia Adonai Yeshuato le'enei hagoyim gilan tzidkato zachar chasto le'emunato levet Yisrael ra'u chol afsei aretz et Yeshuat Eloheinu hariu ladonai kol haaretz pitzu v'ranenu v'zameru zamru ladonai bechinor v'kol zimra b'chatzotrot v'kol shofar hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai yiram hayam umlo'o tevel v'yoshveva neharot yimchau chaf yachad harim yeranenu lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek ve'amim ve'meisharim yaydai Page 16, 17. Adonai malach yirgezu amim yoshev kruvim tanut haaretz Adonai b'tzion gadol v'ramhu al kol ha'amim. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lehar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Turn to page 18 and 19 and we rise in body or in spirit. Mizmor leDavid havu l'Adonai mene'elim havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz havu l'Adonai kevod shemo yishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim kol Adonai ba'koach kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon v'Sirion kemo ven re'emim Kol Adonai chotzev havot eish Kol Adonai yachil midbar Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh Kol Adonai yechol el ayalot Vayechesov ye'arot Uvehechalo kulo omer kavod Adonai lamabul yashav Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. You can be seated, page 2021. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Kishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat techila Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei mitoch hafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha vehu yachamol alayichem la Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Hitnari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifartech ami Al yad ben Yishai beit halachmi korva el nafshi nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela 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 22 lo tevoshi velo tikami ma tishochachi umatahemi bach yechesu aniei ami venivneta ir al tila la lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela v'hayulim shisa shosayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich kimsos chatan al kala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela yamin usmol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yad ish ben partzi venismecha venagila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzala toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela.
Oh, funny. I found my own pencil markings in this book. Funny when that happens. We turn to our Psalm for Shabbat, page 24 and 25. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehoda'ot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot. 10 lines down from the top of the page.
Magadlu Maasechaya Me'od amku machshevotecha Magadlu Maasechaya Me'od amku machshevotecha Magadlu Maasechaya Me'od amku machshevotecha Sadik katamar yifra ke'erez balavanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim vera'ananim iru lehagid ki ashar Adonai suri velo avlatabo Adonai malachi lakesh Mikolot Maim Rabim Adirim Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Eidotecha Ne'emnu Me'od Leveitcha Na'ava Kodesh Adonai Le'orech Yamim
Mourner's Kaddish, page 28.
Yitkadash Shomrei Rabba
Amen.
Bi'alma Dibra Chirutei Bi'amlich Malchutei B'chayechon u'b'yomeichon u'b'chayei Zechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'bizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehi Shomrei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam U'lomei Alaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitraman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitzaleh V'yitzhalal Shmei Lekudesha Brichu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata tamiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shomrei Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. V'seh shalom v'mamav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
Amen.
As I was davening Kabbalat Shabbat, I was thinking to myself that there are some Fridays where it feels both like you need Shabbat more, and it's harder to enter into Shabbat. I was trying to find the joy of Shabbat as we were davening Kabbalat Shabbat and trying to let go of some of the sadness of today and of this week, and just thinking about this idea that even the call to aspire towards joy, to leave behind the burdens of the week and to take time together to aspire towards joy is such a powerful part of Shabbat. And I was also looking around the room and thinking about how much more I know about some, not all, but many of the individuals in this room as I enter my third Shabbat as the rabbi here at Shomrei. And the more I know people, the more I realize what a special community this is. And I just look around the room and I see people each in their own way who help bring joy but also help bring comfort. And in our prayer book that we're using tonight, it talks about the idea that the Baruch Hu, which we're about to join in with, is the leader's call to bring our attention to how even though each one of us is unique, at this moment of communal prayer, when we call to the Baruch Hu, we're letting go a little bit of our uniqueness to join together in one community as we prepare for the Shema, that somehow our joining together as one community is symbolic of God's oneness. So I invite you to rise for the Baruch Hu. We're on page 30. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch Atan Rabbi Moshe ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אז אדוני, אמרי ברבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך. ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ועבדך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך וקומבך, וקשרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה בני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורתי לא תוסף אלה מלכותך רבנך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני God Yisrael. As we turn to Ashkivenu prayer, I just want to share a story of something that happened to me last night. Last night, I took my daughter Noah to the ice cream social at her new middle school, Glenfield. Yep. And
What house is she in, by the way?
what'd you say?
What house is she in?
Anderson, House Anderson. And so we were walking up, to the school, and we were coming out of the parking lot, and another family was coming out too. And so I figured we were there to meet new people, so, I introduced myself. And one of the kids says, I think you're our neighbor. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, we live at 73 Christopher Street. And I was like, oh my gosh, because we're at 75. I said, how did you know we were a neighbor? Because I literally have not seen any neighbors since I moved here all this time. And we happen, if you've seen our car, we have this boat rack on our car that's very kind of noticeable. And so they recognized us because of that. And so I asked them what brought them to Princeton. And they said to Montclair, pardon me. and they said that they had moved to Montclair from Ukraine. And I said, you mean you moved here from Ukraine because you were fleeing the war with Russia? And they said, yes. And so there's a 7th grade girl and her older sister who's going to college online in Ukraine from Montclair, and their mother living next door to me in Montclair, and every time I turn to Hashkivenu prayer, I try to think about the places in the world where people feel unsafe, either because of war or for other reasons. And I think sometimes when news of war, as for example the war in Ukraine, it kind of falls farther and farther down our newsfeed, it's harder and harder for us to connect to it. And I was just really struck. I can't believe that this family is living right next door to me. And so as we turn to Hashkivenu prayer, I'm going to have in mind Lena and her daughter Angela and Karina and their family and all of the families in Ukraine and all the families here in America and all over the world who need to feel a little bit more safe. Let us help spread a Sukkot Shalom over them. Hashkivenu Adonai l'shalom b'medina malkeinu v'chaim v'rasam yisrael shalomcha. I'm 8 lines from the bottom of page 44. Ushmor tzedteinu uvoeinu lechaim oleshalom me'ata v'ad olam ufroz aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol Israel ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise as you are able for V'shamru, page 46. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית העולם. Shabbat vayinafash. Hikadal v'ikadash Shomrei Rabbi. Yamadi v'rachute v'yamlich malchute b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedachol Beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehi Shomrei Rabbi mivorach le'olam le'omei amaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yirman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudesha Brechu Leila Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Damiran B'Alma V'Meru Amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Please rise as you are able, page 80. Vayecholu hashamayim be'aretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa Vayishmot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi vayikadesh oto ki bo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachav Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Konei Shamayim v'Aretz Magen Avot Bidvaro Mechaye Metim Ve'Mamaro Ha'el HaKadosh She'ein Kamohu Hameniach Le'amo B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho Ki V'Amratza La'aniach Lahem Ki V'Amratza La'aniach Lahem Lefanav Navod B'Yirav V'Fachad V'Nodeh Lishmo B'chol Yom Tamid Me'en HaBrachot El HaHozot Adon HaShalom Mekadesh HaShabbat Umbarech Shvi Umeniach B'Kedusha V'Yamikdush Ne'oneg Zecher L'Maseh Bereshit. We're on the 7th line, V'Taher Libenu. V'Taher Libenu, V'Taher Libenu, Le'avdecha be'emet. 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 Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Yitzkadal v'kadasha me'rabah B'amad yivrach yirtei v'yamlik malchutei b'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael b'agala b'zman kariv yimeru Amen Yehesh me'rabah mevorach Le'alam le'al me'al ma'yad Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitruma v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shemei kudesh abrichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nachamata d'amiram be'alma v'imeru Amen Tikabel tzoton uvaton d'chol Beit Yisrael kadam avon divishmai v'imeru Amen Yehi shlom rabam min shemai v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen Useh shalom imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho v'yavav ratzon inchilanu zikaron l'maseh bereshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kedasha mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava u'vratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. We're on page 100, Aleinu. L'shabbeach. Aleinu l'shabbeach. Hakatuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam v'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. In a moment, we're going to turn to the mourner's Kaddish. And I just want to acknowledge that there was a big loss in the community this week, and my heart goes out to Marty Hochbaum and Vicky Iger and Lee and Eden and Nora and everyone who knew and loved David. May his memory be a blessing. I'm going to be talking about him a little bit more tomorrow at services because it happens that what I saw in the Parsha, I heard reflected in the eulogies about David today. I'm going to call to mind loved ones from our community who died in years past, and then invite anyone who's in mourning or observing a yard site to please rise and join me in the mourner's Kaddish. Molly Bingleglass, Dr. Virginia Lee Block, Brian Buckley, Rochelle Goldschlager, Rabbi Joseph Greenstein, Margaret Hauptfinger, Irvin Horowitz, Jacob David Itkin, Isaac Itzkowitz, Dr. Julian Jaffe, Irving Gentis, Evelyn Kevelson, Bernard Lehner, Ron Mercandetti, Leo Saltz, Rose Schulman, Joseph Silver, Joseph Sluchak, Abraham Arthur Sofer, Hannah Todd, Arthur Walter, and Sidney Weisner. May their memories be for a blessing. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 104. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabba, v'yamad divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brechu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'ama v'imru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imroma, v'hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. So as you may have heard, we're in the month of Elul. I hope you will get a chance to see this week's installment of the Elul video. It's a chance to hear shofar and to hear a piece of the psalm that we read all through the month of Elul, Psalm 27 read. So if you don't blow your own shofar at home, you can just kind of play this recording every morning if you want to hear the shofar. And we're going to turn now to Psalm 27 on page 106, and Meryl is going to come up and lead us. Or she can do it from there. Shalti met Adonai avakesh shifti bebeit Adonai kol yamei chayai lachazot benoam Adonai levaker behechalo Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Carol, you're our announcement maker.
Okay. You guys are going to have to help me get through it because there's little or nothing in Shabbos flyer. But tomorrow morning services are at 9:30 and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. A week from tonight is Zamru. That flyer email went out today. So after Shabbos, check the I
bumping?
believe
Oh, buggy.
Judith Engelman will be, the first at Nourish for the season on her poetry. And 2 weeks from tomorrow night is, Slichot, and starting at 6:30 with the kids, and then 6:30 to 7:30 dinner, Havdalah, and then outside again, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, and be sure to sign up so we know how to play. Did I miss anything, Jeff?
Shiva Minyanim,
Okay.
starting Sunday night.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I'm not
And
sure.
Wednesday.
And Wednesday, 2 to 4 in the afternoon, 7 to 9 in the evening, with minyanim at 7:30 each evening.
Yeah.
And I think now I got it.
So I just want to add that a Zamru style service is very musical. It's the kind of service I led the Friday night I came to interview here. Matt Davis was actually with us that night, and he's coming back. And Lily and Deborah and hopefully a few more will join the davening circle. And there will be a potluck dinner afterwards. And so I'm really excited to bring that style service here. And Slichot is also going to be a very musical service this year. Lily and I have been working with a third prayer leader, Talia Lakritz, who is going to be here both for Zamru, because she's coming to see the community before she leads us in high holiday services, and on the night of Slichot, together with 3 musicians who are going to play during the Slichot service, and then transfer into a jazz band. And so we're trying to combine getting into the mindset and the heart set of the high holidays with having fun on a Saturday night and building community. And so we really hope you'll come out for both of those events. Any other announcements?
And your classes start.
Oh, right. Yes, we are teaching classes. They start this week. So Thursday night has been a traditional popular night for Torah study around here. This year, together with the ritual committee, we're going to be doing some pre-high holiday classes. I'm going to be teaching, starting this Thursday night, a 2-part series looking at the meaning and of the high holiday prayers. And then Lily and I are together going to be doing 2 song sessions to learn some of the new melodies we'll be doing this year on the high holidays, as well as really learn the classics. And then there'll be 1 week on Sukkot and 1 on Simchas Torah, and then we'll start reading over the Torah from the beginning. And I'll start the weekly Torah class with Parshat Breshit. Anything else?
If you miss Nourish with Judith Anselman, who's right here, you can see her and hear her at Watch and Bookseller later in the month. And buy her wonderful poetry book. Oh, you're my cute. I don't want to embarrass them.
So we don't embarrass people, we're not.
Just encourage.
Encourage. So we're going to close with singing Echad Sha'alti a second time with another melody, since Yigdal doesn't seem to be a favorite of the community, and I'll call up Lily to lead us in that.
So actually, Dale noticed the connection in the video that I know I was thinking while we were making this video. We used this melody of the sanctuary song during Rabbi Julie's interview weekend, because it was Parshat Truma. And so we were talking about the building of the Mishkan. And
It was all planned. It
felt right. It felt like full circle. Achat sha'alti me'etz Adonai ota avakesh shivti bebeit Adonai kol yemei chaya. There's a little bit of English. Only one thing I ask of thee, God, only one thing that I seek, to dwell with thee in your light, in your light, all the days of my life. Achat sha'alti me'etz Adonai ota avakesh shivti bebeit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
And for those of you who have children at home who are not empty nesters yet, wish wishing them all a happy back to school. as it
Happy
is.
back to
Yes,
school.
happy back to school.
New year in many ways. Sure, go ahead. Have some like heart openness. No, heart oneness. Heart's oneness. Something about oneness.
If you want Zoom, I'm David Kennedy.
David what? Hannigan. Hi, nice to meet you. How about you?
It sounds like the weed cannabis, but it's
Okay. Cannabis?
Cannagus.
Cannabis, okay, got it. No, that actually is helpful.
Yes,
Yeah?
I
So
respond.
your name's Lucey?
I respond to cannabis. Some people can't remember cannabis, but I respond to cannabis.
It's the first time I've ever heard your name, Cannabis.
You know, well, the other name, Koenig.
Yes.
Sometimes you see Koenigus. That's it.
So David is the Montclair all the time?
36 years.
Just 36 years?
Just
Okay. Oh, no, I don't know.
Well, this one's yours.
It was just here, yeah.
Sorry
I
about
just
that.
realized, I don't fully understand why.
Sorry about that, Matt.
Why what?
I don't know why we still use these about the new ones. I keep forgetting to ask, and so.
Because we all know more than
Because we all
one.
know.
More than one. So I'll look forward to seeing you around. I'm signed up for one of those
Meet and
meetings.
greet? Okay, great. That's actually been, David, it's been really helpful for me to get to know people in smaller groups, so I'm glad that you signed up.
People got to spread out.
Yeah. Hi, Carol.
Carol.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, I got home and I guess dinner's off Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So I think this is open for one of the lunches, but I'll figure it out, of course, you know, things straight.
All right, well, we've also had a chance to connect, so
Right.
if it doesn't work out, at least I know who you are.
True.
But it's nice for you to be with the other people.
True.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
You wanna walk, are you walking?
It's the funniest one. It's the
Yeah.
funniest.
That's okay, we live near each other. Yeah, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Good Shabbos. Thank you. Thank you. This was my, sorry I missed your birthday present from Justice. He was in Israel on my birthday, so we brought this back as a gift, yeah. I love Israeli jewelry.
It's great with that skirt.
Thanks, yeah. I asked,
My sister's a jeweler, metalsmith. She would love that.
I like it also because it has one of those hooks where you can make it shorter and longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, for a moment, thought that something happened to some of my jewelry in the move. And then I was like looking in a drawer and I found a lot of it, so I was like, yeah. I was like looking to put on a bracelet and I was like, I don't see any bracelets, like where are my bracelets?
So that family is amazing. They got to Montclair.
They have family here, so that's, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I said to Noah as we were walking home, I was like, Noah, do you understand, about the war and, and I said, and she was like, yes, I don't know how much of you have not experienced war and you're a kid, you understand? I said, that means if you see Angelina in the hallway, you have to be like extra nice to her,
So they're not in need of anything until?
I don't know, I mean, I don't know, first of all, like, people have all kinds of needs. They need to make friends, they need to make community. So I don't know, and I don't know what their family situation is, so I don't know, but
I'm around.
yeah, I was just thinking about them actually, when I was getting ready for Shabbat. I think that most of the houses on my side of the street have multiple apartments, so I'm not 100% sure if I guess I could ring all the doorbells at 73, but it might, but I'm not exactly,
Which,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, well, you know where to find
But I
me.
just was really struck that, I asked the older one, was she going to MSU? And when she said she was online at her university in Kramer, I was just thinking, oh my God, like these students must be all over the world.
They're earnest, because the time difference alone, which is the least of it, but when we
Yeah.
went into lockdown, and some of the students went to Turkey,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like, they were at 4 in the morning on
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it was like that with
dedication.
Princeton too. People.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, if they need something, good to see you.
Dale. Heavily accented, a little bit hesitant, so I don't know. I don't know, actually. There was I mean, I could understand, the mother said some stuff to me, but then also sometimes went to the older daughter for translation, so I think it's probably mixed. But there is a teacher at Glenfield that teaches, that speaks both Ukrainian and Russian, so at least she'll have like, yeah, you know, like one, I mean, not in the classroom, but like the parents at least, so. Yeah, you know, Dale, the only reason I didn't like really follow up on the processing is I just haven't had a chance.
I know.
You know? It's like,
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll just be in it and you won't.
I guess, no, I think you're always learning new
Well, I
things.
would love to be part of that whenever you're done.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to tell you, I heard something from Michael that you're thinking of a new model for Kiddush where maybe like each week it's a different, like on a rotating basis. I wanted to tell you two things. First of all, I love that idea. One thing is I think it would be really interesting to try to get Jesse Toledano to do it once a month.
You know what? I called, well, when I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I didn't say that because, you know, people don't take responsibility.
Yeah.
So I called Jesse and Katie and said, you know, I'd just like to run it by
Yeah.
you. What do you think? And Katie was going to call back and she said, I'll do this. I'll be the captain. I can think of 5 or 6 friends who would call.
Yes, right, because it would be fun. Actually, that's the thing, because people do it with their friends and it's hard to do it.
She said, you want to do that, instead of training them, but also.
Exactly.